So we're going to sit on the block, and then the bolster will be very close to you. When you're ready, change the cross of your leg. Because on Monday, we didn't change the cross of our leg. Now we change to the other side. It doesn't matter. You don't have to remember, because naturally, when you sit down, that is your dominant side. You will always sit in your dominant side because that one feels the most comfortable. So whatever you feel comfortable, you sit down, then you change. Okay. Now, the first one we're going to do is we're going to have the palm facing backwards. Facing backwards. Both of them. And then you press it down into your bolster and then lift yourself up. Lift yourself up as if you want to push yourself up. Now, here the two basic actions in the shoulder. One is shoulder away from the ear. So you need to keep pressing down. As if you want to lift yourself up. As if you want to lift yourself up. But you don't need to lift yourself up. Just pressing down, your shoulder will go away from the ear. And then the outer shoulder, you roll back. Outer shoulder, roll back. If you find you are stuck in your armpit, move the arms away from each other a little bit more. Go to the edge of the bolster, then gives you a little bit more space. And then you press down. And then you keep the shoulder down, outer shoulder back. Shoulder down, outer shoulder back. Now, for more experienced people, as your outer shoulder goes back, you need to feel your shoulder blade suck into the body. Shoulder blade also in. And as your shoulder goes down, you should feel your shoulder blade also goes down. So a little bit more subtle awareness will come from your shoulder blade. So be aware of your shoulder blade as well if you start to progress into your practice. Not just the gross part of the body that you're aware, but also the more finer part of the body. So shoulder down, at the same time, shoulder blade goes down towards the buttock. And then outer shoulder goes back, shoulder blade goes in. Maintain chest up. Okay, now change the position of your arm. Your palm fingers now facing outwards, finger pointing to the side. Press it down, bend the arms, press it down. As you press it down, shoulder blade down. Shoulder down, shoulder blade down. Now you need a little bit more effort now to move the outer shoulder back. The outer shoulder back with these four directions, it actually becomes harder and harder. Pressing down is quite the same. Pressing down is quite the same. As your forearm, as your palm position, your hand position is going the opposite direction of your outer shoulder, you will find it more and more difficult to resist. So you need to actually practice in the four different directions. Okay, now change one more time. Now pointing your fingers forward. Here, it actually already feels it's a little bit more difficult to roll your outer shoulder back, because now your forearm is rolling more inward. So your upper arm needs to roll outward. Your forearm will be rolling slightly inward in this position. Don't lean back. I don't want you to lean back. Come back into the perpendicular position. Keep pressing the palm down. Keep moving the shoulder down. Keep moving the shoulder down. Yes, and then outer shoulder back, shoulder blade in. Outer shoulder back, shoulder blade in. Yes. Stay. This is a warm-up stage. You need to stay for a while to feel that. And then now turn the fingers to point each other. Now, if you don't have any shoulder issue, you can have your middle finger touching each other. If you have, you're slightly away from each other. It doesn't matter how much you can do, just do as much as you can. Now, after you bend your elbows, now press it down to move the shoulder down. Even now, pressing the shoulder down becomes a bit harder because there is a resistance in your forearm. So you keep pressing it down. And then now roll the outer shoulder back. Now this one becomes difficult to roll your outer shoulder back. But you need to keep rolling the outer shoulder back and then suck in your shoulder blade. Suck in your shoulder blade. Yes. Now you feel your whole arm is being twisted. Yes. In fact, it is. Your whole arm, your forearm is turning inward and then your upper arm is turning outward. So now you're twisting your arm. So that's why it becomes harder. And release. Get a belt. If you have a long belt and a short belt, take a short one. You see, whenever you sit down, that's the dominant position, and then you change the cross of your leg. Today we are doing the less dominant side, okay? So if you came up like me just now, as you sit down, you also change the cross of the leg. Now adjust your loop to be shoulder width, and then place it on your elbow behind you. Palm facing upwards, palm facing upwards. This is the general warm-up sequence, which is very good for the shoulder, very good for the shoulder. If you have a problem with the shoulder, you can do this sequence every day. Now from here, elbow down, shoulder blade down. And then outer shoulder back. Now lift your palm away. As your palm lift away, shoulder keep moving down, elbow keep moving down. Shoulder blade keep moving down. And then move your palm away from each other to the side. If you can, come to 180 degrees. If not, maybe 150 degrees is fine. So open as wide as you can. As you open as wide as you can, don't push your lumbar spine. Don't push your lumbar spine. Tuck in your rib cage. From here, elbow down, shoulder blade down, sternum chest up. Now if you can, armpit chest forward, sternum chest up. Keep moving the arms behind you, your palm, keep moving to 180 degrees. Now, as you move more back, you need to be aware that the shoulder wants to pop up. So you keep moving the elbow down, shoulder down as you open. Down and open, down and open, down and open. Shoulder blade down, shoulder blade down. Yes, keep it. Now turn the little finger up, turn the little finger up. Yes, turn the little finger. Don't lean back. Don't lean back. I don't want you to lean back. Come back to the center. Keep in the center. Keep in the center. Yes. Breathe. Shoulder away from the ear. Shoulder keep away from the ear. And release. Now take your belt out. If this is already difficult for you, especially you already have problem, you're already feeling that it's like tearing already, please stop. Don't tear the ligaments on your shoulder. Yes, these exercises actually help you to recover, but you cannot overdo, especially if you already have problem. So you're really feeling some tearing sensation, mild one, then you need to stop here. Otherwise, go a bit closer. Now go to the armpit. So measure this to be the armpit. So it becomes smaller. Then place it behind you, place the belt behind you, palm facing upwards on your thigh. Move the shoulder down, elbow down, shoulder blade down. Move the outer shoulder back, shoulder blade in, sternum chest up. Now lift the palm up, keep moving down, and then open your palm, open your arms to the side. Now you may find this it becomes more difficult, but that's okay. Just keep that position, yes. Now keep opening. If you can, try to achieve 180 degrees. If you can. It might be difficult, but that's okay, just do as much as we can. And then elbow down, shoulder blade down, outer shoulder back, shoulder blade in, sternum chest up. Breathe. Now turn the little finger up, thumbs down. Turn the little finger up. Yes. And then keep the shoulder down, Open the arms even more, Yes. Open to the back, Yes. Don't lean back. Come back to the center, Stay here. Just a few more breaths. I know it's difficult. And release. Now, if you find it difficult to take it out, You have your fingers interlocked behind you, straighten the arms, and then the belt will come down. Okay, now stand up. Go to the wall. Go to the wall. Now, let me see, you can see me. Yes. Now, I'm going to show you my left arm here. Your left arm, go close to the wall. Go close to the wall. And then see this part. This part. The front of your shoulder. The front of your shoulder should be on the wall. Should be on the wall. Now, if you find it difficult to move your hand up, you can move slightly down. That's okay. Now, from here, we're going to turn. As you turn, the front of your shoulder wants to leave the wall. You need to keep touching this part on the wall. Keep that on the wall, and then we're going to turn to the back. And if you can, the other hand, go behind and then hold your wall. And then we stay here. Okay, now we're going to do the right arm first. Right arm on the wall. Right arm on the wall. Now the front of your shoulder should be touching the wall. Should be touching the wall. Now you can go close to the wall. Your face can go close to the wall. That's okay. That's okay. Now maintain the front of your shoulder is on the wall. Now slowly turn your body. Slowly turn your body. Turn. Turn. Yes. And then our left hand go behind and then tuck it into the wall. Yes. Now here, if you look at my right shoulder, this is my problem shoulder. It wants to go up. It wants to go towards the ear side. You need to try to compress it down. Don't let it pop up too much. Yes. Try to have the shoulder also down. Now here, you should feel your armpit chest forward and then put it into the wall with your armpit chest. And then we stay here. Shoulder try to move down. This side is a difficult one for me. So this shoulder always want to pop up. So I need to control the shoulder to move down away from the ear. Down away from the ear. Yes, stay here. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? And then come up. Change arm. Left arm, go to the wall. The front of your shoulder, go into the wall. Now your face can go close to the wall first. And then you turn your body, turn your body. As you turn your body, see if your shoulder wants to come up. You need to press it down if you can. Then right hand, go behind and then tuck into the wall. And then we're going to stay here for a while. Now, if you can move your palm higher if you can. As you move your palm higher, your shoulder should not move up. Your shoulder should remain down. Depress your shoulder. Shoulder down, shoulder down, shoulder down. And then release. Take a bolster. Now the same thing we do it on the floor now. I don't know if you can see. Let me check. I might need to do it here so you can see. Okay. I show my problem arm, my right arm. So now imagine the floor is your wall. So we are going to place this part, the front of your elbow, the front of your shoulder down to the floor. If you have very narrow shoulder, you can't go down to the floor. You can take, for people who have narrow shoulder, because this one, your head will be resting on the bolster. Then you take a blanket, make it into a long strip, and then your shoulder, tip of the shoulder will be here. So you are not so far away from the floor. Okay? So according to what you need, watch. I'm going to come down in the place. You don't have to go very high, but you need to have the front of your shoulder on the floor, and then you rest your head here. You can bend your legs, and then you slowly turn. Slowly turn, the same as just now, but slightly different. Okay? Now this time, First, we tuck in like this, and then look at the top shoulder. The top shoulder, move back. Then if you can, now you hold the top leg, and then you pull. Use the leg to pull. Pull this, and then now the top arm also opening your shoulder. So the bottom shoulder is open because of the gravity and because of the turning, and then the top one because of the leg. So both also opening. Okay, now let's do. Bolster. If you need, you've got narrow shoulder, especially women. Some women have very narrow shoulder. When you press down, your head is like this. Because the bolster is too thick for you, then you need to place a blanket underneath. Okay, place a blanket underneath if you have very narrow shoulder. Okay, now your right arm, I change this side so I can see you. Your right arm on the floor, the front of your shoulder is on the floor. Now rest your head, adjust your bolster so that you are comfortable here. And then now, first step, you turn your body, and then left arm tuck under of your side trunk. Yes, and then just stay here for a while. Now the top shoulder, don't roll your shoulder forward, but instead roll the shoulder back, Yes. And then look up to the ceiling, Feel that stretch. Did you feel that? Now second stage, now your top arm, hold the ankle of your top leg. Now the shin bone push away like this. The top leg push away. So you push that away to the back. Push it to the back. So now both shoulders also open at the same time. This is a modified version of Parshva Dhanurasana. It's the bow pose, it's the side bow pose. The bow pose that you actually swing from one side to the other, this is it. This is the pose. But we're not doing the full pose. We're just using this to help us to open the shoulder. Now push your top leg shin bone, push away from you. Pull. And then your left arm, pull. Yes, feel the shoulder. Yes, and release. Okay, you don't need to come up. You just change arm. I want to change so I can see the screen and I can see you. Now left arm on the floor. As you go left arm on the floor, try and see if you can place the front of your shoulder down. If you cannot, that means that you have narrow shoulder. You might need a blanket underneath, okay? And then from here, we're going to turn. We're going to turn up. And then your right hand, the top one, go behind, tuck under first. This is very similar to what we did on the wall. Yes, we use the wall exercise to warm up for this pose. So now your shoulder actually starting to open. Stay here for a while. Yes. Okay. Now the top leg, come back. The shin bone like kicking like this, but it's behind you, kicking like this. Okay, and then the top arm, hold the ankle, and then pull it back, pull. Use your top leg shin bone, pull it back to open the top shoulder as well. Yes, the bottom shoulder is helped by the ground, and then the top shoulder is held by the top leg. So both shoulders open. Yes, keep kicking back. Kick your shin bone back. Pull. Stay here. Breathe. Open your shoulder. I know it's tough. I know it's painful. Especially people who have problem with your shoulder, this is not an easy pose. If you've got very good shoulder, this is very senang. Okay, release. Slowly come up. slowly come up. Oh, that was good stretch. Okay, now stand up. Now, the next one, we have a belt, shoulder width, and we are going to do Uttanasana, but with the arms behind us, and then we're going to go back. First, I don't want you to think about, this is the pose without the prop. So you're actually doing this, and you go back, okay? So this is the pose. But I want you to focus on the details that we're working in. That's why I want you to use a belt to give you more space between your shoulder blade. A lot of people do this pose. The shoulder blades is too much squeezing into each other, and it makes it difficult to control your shoulder at the same time. So I want to give you a little bit more space. So here, you are thinking about this. You're thinking about pulling it apart. You want to break your belt. You want to break your belt. You've got very tight shoulder. Your belt can be slightly wider. Okay, if you've got very good shoulder, then it doesn't matter. You can make it a bit smaller. Now, as we go down, afterwards, we're going to use the wall to help us. But here, I want to show you first. As we come down, see my shoulder wants to go forward. A lot of people do this. See, if I come up, this is my chest. So people do like this. Okay, I don't want this. I want you to pull it down first. Pull it down. And then the outer shoulder back. And then keep pulling. First, think about up. Up. Think about up. Don't think about going down how far. Think about arms going up. When your arms are going up, see, it's like this. You're pulling back. You're pulling back. So your shoulder is not this. Pulling back. So you think about up. Then, after that, if you are able to control your shoulder going here, this is back. When you come down, this is up. If you can maintain that, then you only go over the head. Okay? Now let's do together. We go close to the wall, and then you have 1 or 2 foot distance away from the wall. Have your buttock on the wall. Have your buttock on the wall. Now the foot is about roughly 1 foot, maybe 1.5, maybe 2, doesn't matter, whatever you feel comfortable. And then we lean forward first, then you place your belt behind you here. Place your belt behind you here. Okay? Then as we lean forward, don't go all the way, walk your fingers up to the wall. Walk your fingers up to the wall. Your fingers is touching the wall. Your finger is touching the wall. Everyone, finger touching the wall. You are in half standing forward bend. Now, in this pose, I want you to walk your fingers up to the ceiling. Fingers walk up to the ceiling. Fingers walk up to the ceiling. Walk up more. Walk up more. Walk up more. Yes. And then maintaining this, you resist the finger going away from the wall. You slowly lean forward and down. But resist going away from the wall. Until at one stage, as you go back, as you go down, you have to leave the wall. That's okay. Then now you pull your arms to the ceiling. Pull your arms to the ceiling. Pull your arms to the ceiling. Yes, the palm go to the ceiling. Stay. Palm go up to the ceiling. Palm go up to the ceiling. Go up, go up, go up. Yes, don't roll your shoulder. Be aware your shoulder not rolling towards the floor. Your shoulder is going up to the ceiling. Now maintain that, go all the way down, and then your arms can go over the head if you can control your shoulder. If not, fingers still pointing up, fingers still pointing up. Yes, don't roll your shoulder forward. Shoulder go towards the ceiling. Yes, and then inhale, come up. Do you understand the points that we're doing? Okay, now here, because this is a practice session, and sometimes you can try, you can experiment with your own body. Because you don't know how far your body can go, you can experiment and just go even beyond what you can do now, as long as you don't hurt yourself. But once the first time you do this, you should have a better understanding of your body. So when we do the second time, I want you to do only to your capacity. Don't go further if your body doesn't allow you. Okay, now there are different stages that you can stay. The first one, when we are here, and then you lean down and then you go up. So here, I'm almost like Ardha Uttanasana. See? Now, stage 1, you just stay in Ardha Uttanasana, half. Then as you go down, I cannot leave the wall, but you go down as much as you can without the fingers leaving. Until you come to your max, you stay here. This is stage 2. Then stage 3, you go down further, but your palm keeping going up. Just go down as much as you can, but it's going up. Stage 3. Until stage 4, you can have your arm going over the head if you can. Okay? My shoulders are very tight. I can't go over the head too much without losing my shoulder. So, stage 1, 2, 3, 4. Just do as much as you can. Now, let's try. Put the belt behind you. Have the buttock on the wall. Lean down halfway, half standing forward bend, and then walk your fingers up. Stage 1. Half standing forward bend, and then walk your hands up. Fingers touching the wall, not leaving the wall. Fingers not touching. Now walk your hands as high as you can with half standing forward bend. Now notice how your shoulder wants to roll forward. Resist that and then move your shoulder back. Move your shoulder back. Move your shoulder back. Stage 1. Now stage 2, lean forward and down as much as you can without the fingers leaving the wall. Without the fingers leaving the wall. You lean forward and down as much as you can. Yes, without the fingers leaving the wall. And then now move the shoulder back and up. Stage 2. Now stage 3. You can go further down. Now fingers up to the ceiling. Fingers up to the ceiling. Roll the shoulders up. Roll the shoulders up. Roll the shoulders up. This is stage 3. Now, if you have good shoulders, you can now go to stage 4. Now, arms go over the head without your shoulders sacrificing. Go over the head if you can. Everyone, you can stay in any stage you want. Just stay in any stage you want. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fingers go back to the wall and then slowly come up. Good. How did you feel? Your shoulders? Good? You see, this is also mobility, but you need stability. If you cannot control your shoulder, if you lose it, you are not having any stability. So that's why you need to have mobility at the same time as stability. Okay? Now the next one is going to be very interesting. We are going to do Chaturanga. We are going to go very slowly in different stages. Take a bolster. You might need your belt. Later on, we see how we go. Now, I won't go all the way down first, so you can actually see what's going on. Your bolster, this is your top groin. The top groin is where you fold, and at the top part, this is where you fold. So, if you have the top groin in one line, the edge of this will be on the top groin. The edge of the bolster as I lie down. So what this does, it helps me to roll the sacrum down and then I pull the thigh bones up. If I go lower, here there is actually some resistance, not so easy to roll the sacrum down. So I want this to be on the top groin. The edge here will be on the top groin. So I'm coming down to the top groin. Then see my sacrum now naturally roll down. Yes? Then you tuck in the toes. Keep rolling the sacrum down, pressing the outer thigh down towards the floor. Outer thigh push down to the floor. And then you straighten the legs without changing your sacrum. So this is a basic position. Then now, press your palm down. Okay, I'm going to place. Here you see my forearm. My forearm is perpendicular to the floor. My elbows is not wide like this. Come closer to the body. You don't have to be touch the body, but closer to the body. Now the shoulder doesn't go forward. Shoulder roll up and back. So your shoulder blade move towards the buttock. Now outer shoulder roll up. Outer shoulder roll up. And then you look slightly forward. Okay? Now let's try. So first, you learn about the actions in different parts of the body without having to push. The bolster will help you. Once you learn that, we're going to reduce the props and then you can learn. Okay? Now lie down. The edge of the bolster is on the top groin. Allow your sacrum to roll down. Allow the sacrum to roll down. Tuck in the toes. Yes. And then now outer thigh push down to the floor. Outer thigh push down to the floor and then straighten the legs so the bottom half of the body is ready. There's slight force but not a lot. You don't need to do a lot. Okay? Now palm, chaturanga arm. Your forearm is perpendicular. Forearm is perpendicular. Now look slightly forward. Roll your shoulders up and back. Shoulder blade back. Shoulder blade back. Chest forward. Now keep rolling the sacrum down. Not the buttock doesn't come up. Buttock down. Roll the sacrum down. Roll the sacrum down. As you roll the sacrum down, resist with the inner thigh up. Inner thigh up, sacrum down, resist. Now from here, shoulder away from the ear, elbow towards the outer hip, shoulder blade towards the buttock. Look slightly forward. Stay here. This is not hard work, but stay here. Imprint the memory of your body here. Imprint the memory of your body here. Yes. Buttock roll down more. Buttock roll down more. Buttock roll down more. Yes. And then front chest down. Front chest down. Front chest more down. Front chest more down. Yes. Yes. And come up. Now watch. Two aspects all of you can improve. One is your sacrum. One is your chest. Okay? First one, watch first. Some of you, when you're doing this, your buttock is like this. Can you see the difference? I don't want this buttock. This. Not here. Here, sacrum roll down. As the sacrum roll down, if your leg have no strength, you'll be like this. But the leg extend. Okay? This is the first one. I want you to improve. Sacrum. Then the shoulder. Some of you are doing like upward facing dog. Not upward facing dog. Come down. Not upward facing dog. Come down. If you come down further, look away. Okay? Let's try one more time. Go. Now the top groin on the edge of your bolster. Feel the buttock down. Everyone release your knee. Release your knee onto the floor. Feel the sacrum naturally fall down. Naturally fall down. Yes. And then now curl the toes. Curl the toes. Maintain the sacrum down towards the floor. Now as you extend the leg up, use the inner thigh to extend up. Inner thigh to straighten up. Yes, and then you need to resist the sacrum going down and back. And then you lift the inner thigh up. In fact, if you can, thigh bones into the hip. Thigh bones into the hip. Good. Now chest. Your forearm. Check your forearm is perpendicular. Your forearm is not perpendicular. Your palm should be going slightly more back. Slightly more back. Yes. Yes, your forearm is perpendicular. Now roll your shoulder, outer shoulder up, but the shoulder away from the ear. Move the shoulder towards your elbow direction. Your elbow moves towards the outer hip direction. Yes, much better. Now remember, this is where you need to be. This is where you need to be. Your whole body should be parallel to the floor. And come down. Release. Now, we're going to make like this. So, this one, You imagine at this edge here, you imagine it was this edge. So instead of this on the floor, I'm having this on the floor. So now you need a little bit of more strength for your palm to maintain. Watch first, watch. So I'm still placing this on my top groin. So my sacrum still naturally drop. My sacrum still naturally drop. Okay? And then because of the bolster, you may not get exactly, depending on the, if you have very short body, your palm may be slightly forward like this. It's okay. It's okay. We practice. But if you can, you are almost touching already to maintain your forearm perpendicular to the floor. So this is okay. Now, watch the sacrum roll down, extend the inner thigh up, and then pull the thigh bone in. And then here, don't do the upward facing dog. Come down here, roll the shoulder up and back, and then extend the chest forward. And then stay here. Look here. Okay? Now let's try. Just a little bit more strength compared to just now. Just now, you don't need to push. Here, you might need to push slightly. Slightly. Okay. Everyone release your knee down. Release your knee down. Allow the sacrum to roll down. You need to get familiarized with this pose, with this rolling of the sacrum down. All of your Savangasana, Sirshasana, your Frikshasana, your Adho Mukha Frikshasana, all of this sacrum have to roll down this way. Yes. Okay, now curl the toes, tuck in the toes, roll the sacrum down as you pull the thigh bones in and then extend the inner thigh up to straighten the leg. And then now move your forearm close to the bolster so it's perpendicular or almost perpendicular. That's okay. Now press slightly into the floor and then roll the shoulder up and then back. And then don't come up like upward facing dog. Don't come up like upward facing dog. Yes. And then look slightly forward in front of you. Look slightly forward in front of you. Good. Good. Yes. And then come down. You see, what we are teaching you here is also a progression that you can practice. You can practice. If you absolutely have no arm strength, you start with the first one. Then you have a little bit more, you then go to the second one. Now we go to the third one. We go slowly. Now the third one, you need 2 blocks. Instead of the bolster, you only have blocks now. So your blocks will be, the 2 blocks will be like this here. Same place, same place. Top groin, just above the top groin. So like this. Okay? So place it here. And then you come down. You adjust. See, my sacrum still rolling down by itself. Here, because I don't have the bolster blocking me, so my forearm can go to 90 degrees. Curl the toes, tuck in, pull the thigh in, roll the sacrum, extend, and then now roll the shoulder back and down, and then look forward. Okay? Let's try. It's almost on your pubis bone. Almost on your pubis bone. You may feel your bladder is, if you need to go to the toilet, you need to release your bladder, you may not feel nice here. So it's almost just on your bladder. Almost just on your bladder. Okay, palm on both sides. Make sure your forearm is perpendicular to the floor. Now roll the sacrum back, pull the thigh bones in and extend the legs. Maintain that. And then now with the palm, you need to push slightly now. Push slightly, roll the shoulder back and roll the shoulder up and back, and then look slightly forward on the floor. Look slightly forward on the floor. Yes. Don't go to upward facing dog. Don't go to upward facing dog. Look at your upper arm. If your upper arm is parallel to the floor, then you are not doing upward facing dog. If the angle is more than 90 degrees in your arm, then you are doing upward facing dog. Good. And then come down. Now, usually we also have another intermediate progression where you use two chairs against the floor, against the wall. And then from here, you go from plank into Chaturanga. We're going to skip that. If you want, you can try. You can try at home. Now, we're going to try to learn from plank. We go down until you don't think about going into Chaturanga. You only think about how to do the actions in Chaturanga. Just descend slowly until you reach the floor. That's it. That's all. So the next progression, other than using the chair, that one we don't have time. Let's try. Now from here, usually in downward facing dog, if you see, if you go to a nice distance, when you go to downward facing dog, when you come here, if your arm is straight, perpendicular, you look at my heel is slightly back. Usually you need to go slightly forward. As you bend your arm, then only you can come down to Chaturanga. Can you see? Now my forearm is perpendicular. So, from here, what I want you to do is from plank, you need to move forward. So your arm will no longer be perpendicular to the floor. Instead, it will be like this. Then you bend the arm, then the forearm can become 90 degrees. You understand? Now, what we do now is, when you're here, move forward, bend, and then you just descend slowly by having the shoulder up and back. And you just descend slowly, come down. That's it. Don't think about doing Chaturanga. Just think about the actions and just come down. Let's do. You can come to tabletop. This is another way to go into plank. Generally, there are two general entry into plank. One is downward facing dog. The other one is tabletop. Okay? From tabletop, extend one leg back. Extend the other leg back. Roll the sacrum back. Roll the sacrum back. Pull the thigh bones in. Now, everyone, move your body forward. Bend the elbow. Slowly descend. Slowly descend. Yes. Come back to tabletop. Come back to tabletop. Yes. And then extend one leg back. The other leg back. Roll the sacrum down towards the heel. Pull the thigh bones in. Now, transfer the weight forward. And then bend the elbow. Descend. One more time. Tabletop. Come to tabletop. One leg back. The other leg back. Now move forward. Descend. One last time. Tabletop. One leg back. The other leg back. Plank. Roll the sacrum. Move forward. Bend the elbow. Descend. Okay. Come up. That's enough. That's enough for Chaturanga. For now. We're going to move on. The next one we're going to do is Puruttanasana. Puruttanasana. In Puruttanasana, we do simple ones. Actually, simple ones are not simple either. We're going to do the half version, and then we're going to attempt the full version. Because we are not focusing on the bottom half of the leg, we're only focusing on the shoulder, so it's more important to do the half version. The full version is not important. Okay? So what we're going to do, you see, we're going to press the palm down. Remember when we did this in the warm-up? It's exactly the same. But the problem is, look at my shoulder. The problem is most people, when they come up, the shoulder is like this. In fact, you need to, can you see? Not here. Extend, okay? So what we're going to do is, you bend the legs, and then you have your palm There are three positions that we practice here. One is you have your palm facing back. This is a starting point. This is the easiest of the three. You press down, roll the sacrum up, and then now you need to move your shoulder, first away from the ear, two away from the ground. Shoulder blade in. And then we stay here. We just work on your shoulder. This is the first one. Then we have the palm facing outwards. Palm facing outwards. This is second one. Then finally, we have the palm facing backwards. Okay? Of course, the final pose is this. Okay? We don't need to do the final pose. I want to focus on the shoulder. Let's try. Take 2 blocks. First position, have your fingers pointing backwards. First position, fingers pointing backwards. Now, press the palm down. Press the palm down here. No need to lift. Just press the palm down here. Outer shoulder back. Outer shoulder back. Stay here. Stay here. Just press the palm down. Outer shoulder back. Now, use your arm strength. See if you can lift the buttock slightly away. Just lift the buttock slightly away. And then now, extend as if your arm becomes long. And then your shoulder away from the ground more. Move the outer shoulder back. Move the outer shoulder back. Yes, and then sit down. Now change the palm, the fingers pointing outwards. Same thing. First, you extend the arms to be straight without leaving the floor. Your buttock is still on the floor. Yes, just like what we did. And then now, outer shoulder back, outer shoulder back. Now, see if you can just push enough so the buttock leaves the floor slightly. And then move the shoulder away from the ear. Push into the ground. Push into the ground. Yes. Yes, push into the ground. Yes, and release. Another one. Now, fingers pointing towards the foot. Pointing towards your feet. Straighten the arms, chest up, shoulder back, outer shoulder back. Now push strong enough to lift the buttock slightly away. Now shoulder away from the ear, shoulder away from the ear. Don't drop down. Push, push, push. Yes. And then come down. Now this time we're going to do a full half position. A full half position. Fingers pointing back. Extend the arms straight. Now first, lift the buttock slightly away. Extend the arm. Shoulder away. Now roll the sacrum towards your knee. Roll the sacrum towards your knee. And then slowly move until your trunk and your thigh becomes parallel to the floor. Now shoulder away from the floor and shoulder away from the ear. You can look forward if your neck is not comfortable. Otherwise, you can look up to the ceiling or you can even drop back, depending on how comfortable your neck is. Okay? Keep it here. And then release down. Change the palm. Your fingers pointing outwards. Fingers pointing outwards. Now press the palm down. Straighten the arms. Straighten the arms. Now push yourself away from the floor slightly. Slightly. Yes. Now maintaining this, roll the sacrum towards the knee. Roll the sacrum towards the knee and then slowly lift it up until the trunk and your thigh into one straight line. Now keep the shoulder away from the ear and away from the ground. Away from the ear and away from the ground. Yes. Good. And then come down. One last one. Fingers pointing towards the feet. Fingers pointing towards the feet. Straighten the arm. Straighten the arm. Now push the buttock slightly away and then extend the arms. Shoulder away from the ear. From here, roll the sacrum towards the knee. Roll the sacrum towards the knee. And then lift the buttock up until your trunk and your thigh into parallel position. Stay here. Now just for fun, extend your feet forward and then lift up. Just for fun. chest up, shoulder away, chest up, and come down. Okay, sit down, rest for 30 seconds. Puruttanasana. Did you feel your arm strength? Did you feel arm strength? Or I'm talking to the wall. We are going to get prepared to go into shoulder stand. Take a chair first. Take a chair. I want to see you. So I give you dual view so you can see. Okay. Now, adjust your belt to be shoulder width. Adjust your belt to be shoulder width. And then place it behind you on your elbow. First, sit about halfway. You don't need to sit all the way back. I think now with all the warm-up, etc., we should be able to start somewhere in the middle already. Then you lean forward, extend the arm, and then place it on top. And then palm facing down, on top of your backrest. Palm facing down. And then lift the chest, shoulder away from the ear, shoulder towards the fingers. And then now, slowly move your buttock forward, lean forward, and then hold the top of the chair. And then you are only sitting right at the edge of the chair. Sitting only right at the edge of the chair. Shoulder down. Shoulder don't go up. Some of you, shoulder is still up. Not here, not here. Shoulder down. Shoulder down, chest up. Shoulder down, chest up. Shoulder towards the fingers. Shoulder towards the fingers. Yes, lift the chest up. Now, right hand, bend the elbow, and then the thumb and the second finger go to your rib cage. This is your single hand shoulder stand. Yes. Lift the chest up. Shoulder. We are practicing shoulder all day today. Shoulder away from the ear. Now shoulder move towards your elbow. Move towards your elbow. Yes, straighten the right hand. Now left hand, press into your rib cage. Press into your rib cage. Press into your rib cage. Sternum chest up, shoulder down. Shoulder away from the ear. Shoulder away from the ear. Shoulder towards your elbow. Shoulder towards your elbow. Now, if you can, right hand also hold. This is your shoulder stand. Lift the chest up, lift the chest up. Good. Don't push the lower back. Don't push the lower back. Don't push the lower back. Now, lift the back of the head up as high as you can. And then your chin go towards the collarbone. This is your shoulder stand. And release. Release the head. Release the arm. Come down. Today, we're going to try and do shoulder stand number 2, the second position of shoulder stand. We may not do the full pose. The full pose, you have your arms behind you. Have the arms behind you, and then your fingers, we're going to press down like this, like a bit like what we do for headstand, but you need to rotate more. So that will be the final pose. But I don't want you to do that because that is actually quite restricting. If your shoulder is not yet ready, you can do the arm, it defeats the purpose. The purpose is called shoulder stand. So the shoulder is more important than your hands. Okay, so from here, I don't want you to do fingers interlocking, but just place it in between your wrists. Don't go into the wrist. If you go into the wrist, because the wrist is mobile, it may not be very stable. So just go slightly inside, then you will feel more stable. Okay, now everyone get ready for your shoulder stand on the floor. I will show and then we will do. Okay, let's go. Get prepared and then I'll show. If you have very tight shoulder, put it higher than your normal. Put it a little bit higher, maybe put 1 or 2 more blankets, slightly higher than what you're normally used to. Then your shoulder can work better. Your shoulder can work better that way. There are many ways to set up your shoulder stand. Just do the one that you feel most comfortable. You will need blankets, at least 6 blankets if you have. If you don't, then too bad. We just do with whatever we have. You have only 4, you use 4. Or better still, if you have shoulder pad, and then add a couple more blankets, then it will be good. It will be good. Let me see if the angle is right. I think the angle, I don't know. Let's try. I hope you can see. Then we also need our belt. Place the bolster behind you. Okay. Now, those who are preparing, I will just talk for the sake of some people may not be very fully understand how to set up. So we have this side, you need to build a small platform. The platform, you should make it into this big. This big is actually A4 size. From your A4 size, you unfold twice. That will be your shoulder stand size. The shoulder stand size with the round edge, you place it on one side, all of them onto one side, and then you place about at least, I think today just do a bit more, like 6 or something, okay? I place a little bit more here for the head is because the back of my head always get caught on the floor or on the mat. So I just don't want to get caught there. So I place something soft. That's okay. Now at the end of here, put a bolster for today. Because if you have very tight shoulder, you cannot press all the way down. This one elevate a little bit so your arms can keep pressing down. Your arm can still keep pressing down. That will help you. Now when you're ready, come to the screen. Come to the screen, and then I will show you what we are doing. Just like any other ones that we do. Since we learned last time how to roll from our halasana, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Do you still remember how to roll? Okay, you put it behind you. You sit down, and then you lie back. You adjust so that your shoulder is inside of your platform. If you tend to move more towards the head side, you need to leave more room between your platform, the edge of the platform and your shoulder. Otherwise, it's about 1 thumb distance, okay? And then place your palm inside, and then you hook your thumb together, extend the arms, roll the shoulder down, open the shoulder, then you rest your buttock down, lift the leg up, and then imagine I'm extending my leg towards the head side. Then you can go, okay? So once you have gone there, then you work on your shoulder. This one, I think everyone knows. So you have to roll the shoulder, outer shoulder down to the floor, and then shoulder away from the ear. Now, in zero base, we talk about the T1, the thoracic spine, the first part of your thoracic spine. You need to feel the first part of your thoracic spine sucked in. Then your thoracic spine will be straight. So here you hold, we go into the first position first. Then you lift one leg up, the other leg up. We try this. Here, look at my position. Many people do the first pose. Their legs is something like this. Okay, so you need to roll the sacrum up and then push the sacrum forward and resist with the thigh, and then come up to be straight. This is the first one. Second one, people normally sometimes come to this angle. So you are putting more weight onto your head. In fact, you need to put more weight onto your elbow. So put more weight onto your elbow here. So even this is slightly too much, I want you to learn how to use your arm. If you cannot use your arm, you cannot do the second position. Okay? So from here, you move more towards the arm side, more towards the arm side. Then you come down back into Halasana, and then we're going to get ready to go into second pose, second position. Move the belt to the wrist, press down, and then one leg up, the other leg up. Now here, you will tend to go to the head side. Watch, my leg is actually on my head side. You need to keep pressing the shoulder, keep pressing the upper arm, and then move more towards your arm side, more towards your arm side, and then come to straight line. Come to straight line here. Okay? So this is second position. Then we come down. Then you release, and then you roll out. Let's try. If you are still not stable in shoulder stand, the first position, we call the Salamba Savangasana 1, then you only do 1, don't do 2. If you're already stable in your 1 position, then you can attempt 2. Now, if you want to use the rolling way that we did today, everyone now roll over to Halasana. Roll over to Halasana. Yes, good. Now, in Halasana, roll your shoulders. Roll the outer shoulder down, shoulder away from the ear. Outer shoulder down, shoulder away from the ear. People in zero-based, now you need to focus on your T1, your thoracic spine, the first one. Suck it in, otherwise you cannot get straight. Okay? Now from here, bend the elbow, hold your middle back. If you can, if your arm is short, you can hold closer to your shoulder blade. If your arm is long, you'll be holding your back ribs. Generally, we call this the middle back. Then, if you're ready, one leg up at a time, go up to Savangasana number 1. In Savangasana number 1, first, don't get a crooked one. No crooked one. Roll the sacrum up and then push the thighs back to come to one straight line. Come to one straight line. Yes, you need to resist. Now, this is the first one. Very good. Now, everyone, move your weight more to the elbow side. Even you do too much. Just move to the elbow side. You need to get used to how to use your arm strength. Yes, move more to the elbow side, not to the head side. You should not feel your head is heavy. You should feel head is light. Yes, now feel how you need to push your upper arm, your outer upper arm down, your shoulder down, your elbow down. See how much you need to push down to support that. And then now come back to Halasana. Remember how you use your arm. Now you need to use your arm to support you in Savangasana number 2. Now straighten your arm to the back and then place your belt on your forearm close to the wrist. On your forearm close to the wrist. If you're not stable in your Salamba Sarangasana 1, stay. Just repeat Salamba Sarangasana 1. It's totally okay. You can still work with your shoulder. Now those of you who are ready, open your shoulder even more. T1, thoracic 1, suck in. Now keep pressing the upper arm. Keep pressing the forearm. Keep pressing your palm down. One leg at a time, go up. Strong shoulder, strong arm. Strong shoulder, strong arms. Not crooked, not crooked. Buttock forward, thigh back. Buttock forward, thigh back. Resist. And then keep going up and up. Yes. Now, those of you who are already up, you are now on the head side. you are staying on the head side, move to the arm. Move the weight to the arm. Don't go to the head. You should feel the head is light. Don't go to the head. Yes, go more to the arm. Upper arm press. If you find it difficult, bend your elbow for now. Bend your elbow slightly. Push your upper arm down. Push your shoulder down. Yes. Now sacrum push forward, thighs push back. Sacrum push forward, thigh push back. Yes. And then come down to Halasana. Release your belt. Release your belt. And if you're ready, slowly roll down. After you roll down, move towards the head side until your buttock, your pelvis is still on the platform. Move towards the head side until your buttock is still on the platform. And then Baddha Konasana legs and then arms to the side. Stay here for a while to equalize your blood pressure. Stay here for a while. Very good. You deserve a rest. Stay here. When you are ready, join the knees together and roll to one side and then come up. Then prepare with a chair, a bolster, and a blanket. This is the last restorative pose for today. It's a variation of Viparita Karani. Now, after you have your props, just come to the screen and watch first. This is not difficult, but I hope you can do a good job, because the better you do in this pose, the more that you adjust properly for yourself, you will feel a lot of release in this pose. Now, first, I'm going to sit on one side of my bolster, close to the chair side. There is a little bit of distance between the chair and the bolster to rest my buttock down later on. And then from here, I'm going to open the feet to the sides of the chair and then slide myself down towards the floor. Now, don't slide too much so my bolster can still support some part of my bottom spine. I want some part of the bottom spine to be supported. If you don't feel comfortable, if your bolster is too thick, you don't feel the arch in your lower back, then you move it away from you. That's okay. You need to adjust according to your body. But for me, I want to support my lower back as well. Okay? Now from here, slowly lift the chest and then you lie down. Then finally, your legs up to the chair. After you have your legs up to the chair, roll the sacrum slightly towards the chair side and then place it flat on the ground and then release here. We have made a lot of effort on the shoulder. Now the shoulder now gently release down towards the floor. It will give you a release of the shoulder here without you having to do much work. And I'm going to stay here for 5 minutes. Okay, let's try. A variation of Viparita Karani. Make sure your shoulder is rolled out. Make sure your shoulder is away from the ear. Your shoulder blade is towards your buttock. And have the right amount of height for your head. If you tend to tilt backwards, you need a slightly higher height for your head. After you have come into the position, check and see whether your lower back is long. You can roll a little bit more your sacrum towards the chair side so that your lower back remains long. Otherwise, when you come out, you may not feel comfortable. If you're ready here, if you have glasses, take off your glasses. You should feel your legs is well rested on the chair. You can adjust the distance of the chair according to what you need. Okay? Some people might need it a bit closer. Some people might need it a bit further. And if you don't feel comfortable with your lower back because your bolster is too thick, then move the bolster away from the buttock. And then release the arms down. Shoulder away from the ear. Roll the upper arm out. And then close your eyes. And then rest here for 5 minutes.